Today I will be giving you my honest review of TemTem after playing over 300 hours of the game, so that's just showing my credentials right now to comment on this. I stopped playing the game months ago and I'm now realizing I don't have a video covering it on this channel, so let's go through this channel's standard categories. Starting with story. For story, I will give this game a 6. I honestly did not like the story for TemTem that much, and I felt like it was mediocre, but that is my own personal opinion. Other players may have enjoyed it more. I did not. The visuals for the game I will give a 7. The visuals are good, but they definitely felt lacking compared to other 3D games of similar budgets. I also wish they had a better designer for the clothes, because I genuinely hated most of the clothing options and I felt like I was left with two choices. It felt like the game was more targeted towards a feminine audience instead of split down the middle. For functionality and bugs, I will give this a 10. While playing the game, I did not notice any bugs. At no point did I feel like, oh man, the game glitched on me or messed up or there was like some technical issues. And I will also say this, the battle system is one of the best battle systems I have ever played in a Monster Tamer game because I never felt cheated at any point in time. Anytime I lost in this game, I felt like it was my own fault. It was a skill issue. I could tell myself it was a skill issue. This game has one of the best battle systems I have ever played in a Monster Tamer game. I will give them that. Out of all the negative stuff I hear about TemTem online, I will give them that. Their battle system is very good. The next category is enjoyment. I will give this an 8 because I did enjoy the game enough to recommend it to others. So for that, I'm going to go with an 8 based on that. I enjoyed it enough to recommend to other people. For creativity, I will give TemTem a score of 8. I do believe a lot of the monster designs were original, as well as the world building. I liked how they built their game world. It could have been a higher score, but we can all see the Pokemon influence throughout the whole game instead of just certain parts of the game. I'm trying to avoid that for myself, but I felt like the Pokemon influence was too heavy in this game to where I couldn't give it a higher score than 8. As far as game features, I'm going to go with 8.5. The game features are set up nicely, especially having its own in-game economy. There are, however, some issues that involve inconvenient grind, but those are not part of the main game. So I'll give it an 8.5 when it comes to game features. Now as far as challenge, I feel like this is something they did right. I'll give TemTem a 10 on challenge, okay? That's probably their highest score out of all these categories is challenge. I would give this part a 10 because the game is not too easy and not too difficult. I did not want to break my controller and I did not feel like I was getting bored with the lack of challenge. I also learned from this experience playing TemTem to help with my own game development, okay? So that's why I will give them a 10 because I really appreciate how they set up the challenge in the game. For guidance, I will give them a 7. Even though most of the game is explained well, there were enough times that I had to look up information online to lead to this score of it being a 7. For dialogue, I would give the dialogue a 7 also. It could have been higher, but it was painfully obvious that the creators were trying to get the players to think a certain way. It would be like playing a video game and the entire game is talking about how great being a Hindu is. It's like, I just came here to play a video game, sir. For replayability, I will give that a score of 7. Although it can be replayed based on certain parts of the story, as a player, I wouldn't want to have to go through some of that all over again. So that's why I wouldn't give it too high of a score when it comes to replayability. So they have quite a few things in post game, but I'm already not really into the game anymore because I already beat the story and it took forever to add the post game. The issue that I have now with TemTem is that even though they're not planning on adding more worlds or more monsters, they're trying to get you to buy cosmetic things and other stuff like that. And it just kind of seems ridiculous to me. Like, why invest more if you're not planning on adding more to your audience? It doesn't make any sense to me, but that's my own personal opinion. Okay, so to wrap things up, I will give TemTem a score of 7.9. I don't feel like that's too high or too low for what TemTem actually is.
If you enjoyed watching this video, be sure to subscribe and like and share. Find out what happens next time on the OFC.